Hi, y'all. Jeff here with Jeff's Cars and Garage, and welcome back to yet another video. And having a little technical difficulties here because, well, it's we're driving and a little hard to manage. There we go. Well, I guess the camera's on. Uh, so I'm still going, and it's still the same day. It's uh, still March 27th. I'm in southern Arkansas now, and uh, well, I'm still plugging away now. Uh, Still in the GL350. I've done a couple of videos and I've lost audio and had all kinds of technical issues and so forth. And well, needless to say, it's still working at it. So this is kind of work in progress, but now I've got the camera facing in front, and we're working, rolling on down the road. I'm on US 425, I believe. Yes, I'm on US 425, and I had an issue that before I get into the real topic of the video, but I had an issue where one GPS told me one thing. The vehicle GPS told me one thing, and my phone GPS told me something else. Now, the phone GPS, I use Google Maps, and so usually Google Maps is probably the one that is updated the most. But I was coming into Conway, Little Rock, and the car GPS said to get on to Interstate 430, and then it took me around kind of to the west side of Little Rock, and then it took me on Interstate 30. And this is going Interstate 40, 430, and then Interstate 30. Well, and it told me to go west. And so I got going about 15, 20 miles. I'm going, wait a minute, this ain't right. Where is, because in the past, I've always, the Google Maps GPS has always led me through Interstate 530, which was about another 8 miles further east. And it takes you kind of right by downtown, and it's a pretty high traffic, during the day. It's a pretty high traffic interstate. Well, I got to going about 16 miles west, and I was trying to manipulate, the in-dash GPS, and I'm going, this thing's taking me all the way to Texarkana, and then down through Interstate 49, which takes you down past Alexandria and then over on Interstate 10. So basically, I would have been doing a loop. And I thought, this ain't right. So I immediately got off the interstate, replugged it in. And what had happened was, somewhere along the way, I had the phone sitting in the I had it sitting in the area right above the radio and in the screen area, and I had the phone turned, and then all of a sudden the GPS just went poof. And so I started following the one in the car, thinking, well, okay, it's lead me one direction, it should end up in the same direction. Well, no, it didn't. So after about a 30 or 40 minute reroute delay, I'm back on track. However, I'm probably by the time, because it was projected I would get there probably about 7:30. So now it's looking closer to 8:15, and I still have to stop for fuel. I haven't stopped since Joplin. And so let me pull up my average miles per gallon. So from start this morning, it pops up. I have been driving 11 hours and 43 minutes, or at least the car has been on 11 hours and 44 minutes, and 800 miles. And this round, obviously, it's just me and not a lot of luggage. I'm averaging 25.5 miles per gallon. Now, remember, I did a video when we got back, the 2,000 round, 2,000 miles in 4 days. I averaged 24.7. But I had, my daughters and my wife with me going down and their luggage and so on and so forth. And then coming back, I had my daughters and luggage and some stuff, extra stuff. So I was loaded down a little bit more. And so now with me, it's just me, a suitcase and a box and my backpack. And that's it. And so 25.5 miles to the gallon. Now, I know where I'm going to stop for fuel, and it's because right now I'm going south, and I think, it takes me through Bastrop, and I cross under Interstate 20, and I keep on going south as I'm in Louisiana, and I'm getting close to actually being, let's see, where am I at? Am I still in Arkansas? I'm going to have to look for plates on cars. Yes, I'm still in Arkansas. So I haven't crossed into Louisiana yet, but I'm getting close. And then I'll go through Bastrop and then keep following this around. And then I go, highway takes me into Natchez, Mississippi, and then I follow the highway on down, and then I come back into Louisiana. So quite the trip, but it seems to be the Google Maps quickest, unless you follow a different GPS. So. And I'm in logging country now, so as you can see, we got the tall pines and I'm not going quite as fast, but the other route is taking 49 all the way south till it ends at Texarkana, and then pick up 71, go to Shreveport, and then 71 is a 2-lane, and it's a 2-lane curvy road, US 71. And then once you get past or at Shreveport, or just before, somewhere right around Shreveport, then you get back on 49, and then it takes that all the way down to Alexandria. So, and then you come across on I-10. Which way is faster? This way is faster by about 45 minutes to an hour. It depends. Like right now, we've got a lot more traffic, so I'm being delayed even more, and I've got road construction. So, Google Maps on the phone, I'll promote it. It seems to work. But it's not always going to know everything, but at least it's got the fastest route for the most part, most of the time. Now, with that said, I tried to get, the conversation or the discussion that I wanted to have was regarding the news this morning. And it probably came out yesterday, but this morning, I heard it, and of course it was, do I have room to get over and go around this guy? Nope. He's going very much under the speed limit, looks like. Let's see here. Yeah, very much under the speed limit. I think the speed limit here is 55, and I can go 5 or 6 or 7 over. But anyway, back to the news. The news, and it's probably been out a couple of days. I just haven't paid much attention. But now the tariffs on the automobile industry is to take place in the United States. In the United States, I mean, the tariffs are going to be on. I'm going to pass too, just like that Mustang. I'm going to keep up with that Mustang, and it's going to be on all imports across the board, rather than just on Canada and Mexico. Now it's across the board, which is going to include the European and the Japanese and the Korean markets. How does that affect us as the consumer? Well, first of all, it makes the European car market a lot more expensive. So, what does that do for Mercedes? And of course, being as I'm a Mercedes guy. You want to go buy a brand new Mercedes? What's that going to do to your pocketbook? Well, that G-Wagon you want is going to cost you more. That AMG you want is going to cost you more. That Maybach that you want is going to cost you more. That ML series or GL series vehicles that are built in Alabama, are they going to cost you more? Maybe a little bit, because some of the components probably are shipped in from Germany that are put on the vehicle. But is it going to cost as much more as it is for the AMG counterpart? No, probably not. But now it's up to the bean counters with the auto manufacturers to figure this all out. Now, what it is going to do, I believe, especially in the European car market, for the European car market in the United States, is it's going to make the value of the car, the model, the make, much more, I don't know, more expensive, or much more. I don't know how to put it, but like it was in the 70s, a Mercedes-Benz was a was a high-end car. It was quite a bit more expensive than a counterpart. I mean, Cadillac tried to keep up with it with, like the SL with the Cadillac tried to keep up with the SL with the Elante and so on and so forth. And so they had some margins and room to make that happen. However, it makes the cars, it makes those the vehicles a little higher status symbol, I guess, maybe is a way to put it. So it's gonna take us back to the 70s, 80s, because back then we had import taxes. Well, some of those import taxes have gone away. So now with the tariff, we can pretty much basically call it an import tax again. Now, what's it going to do to the economy? Well, what I think is the intent, and again, this is my opinion. I'm not a statistician. I'm just a kind of a normal, everyday guy that pays attention to some of the news and tries to analyze what it's really going to do to my pocketbook. But what I hope it will do is be able to lower our federal tax, our federal income tax a little bit. It's for us working people. I think that's the intent. I don't know for sure. I can't get into. I can't figure out where his thought process is on this whole thing. But if that's it, great. Is it also to bring tax money in to help fill some of the deficit that's going on? Well, I hope so, because that would be a good thing. We need to reduce our national debt. Hopefully we can balance the budget, and hopefully some of that money can go into that rather than being turned around and spent on other stuff that we don't need to do. I mean, the excessive spending. So it could be a good thing. I mean, early on in some of the comments that were made on my the first video that I did on this, there were some comments and said, well, it's just negotiation tactics and so forth and so on. And while it is, yes, it is, but now it's real. And so, you want to go buy that Mercedes, you better go buy it before April 2nd. Well, actually, you probably won't see it it won't affect us locally until probably May 1st or June 1st, because again, it's all on what's coming in, what's going to be landing after that point, and there's probably dates and all kinds of things on there. So guess it's keep following the news and see what it does. Is it going to help? Is it going to help the U.S. economy? I don't know. It may not. Each term there's always something different, and with whoever happens to be in office. So that's my rant. I hope you enjoy some of this video here that with some of the scenery going through southern Arkansas on US 425 while I'm following a yellow Mustang convertible from Kansas. Kind of ironic, huh? Well, I'm a Kansas fan. Sorry, my Jayhawks didn't make it past the first round of the NCAA tournament. Good luck next year. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Be constructive about it, or be considerate of it. I appreciate everybody's opinions, and everybody has a right to their opinion, and quite frankly, it's fine with me. Just don't badger me. I mean, I have my opinion, you have yours, and let's agree to disagree or agree to agree. So, hey, listen, thanks for watching. Sorry you didn't get to see me. Well, maybe I can show you. Here I am. See, I'm here. I'm actually driving the car and trying to keep my eyes on the road. So I'm in this town of Hamburg and continuing my journey southbound. Have a great day, and again, thanks for watching.